Well, our largest and most vicious fight of the war continues, guys. And those of you, by the way, that put down below all the way through and managed to watch the entire episode, I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to have a few more of those throughout these, but it really touches me that a lot of you guys are watching these throughout the entire damn episode. Definitely puts me on my toes as well to constantly keep the content going and not stop for any reason. So let's go ahead and just keep things going. I mean, pretty much, guys, we've got a massive army on the way. We did for sure send that first Union force reeling. We could see the results of that over here, but the fight continues, and continues in earnest. And in fact, we've still got these units over here by Lewis Ford that are still holding their location. I didn't think they were going to be able to get into the fight, but it looks like 7th Brigade is already engaging some Federals over here. In fact, I wish I could stop that, because I don't actually want them to do that. I just want them to, well, actually, let me not complicate things anymore. Let's have that order stopped. But we do want to potentially move some units, and maybe we'll take one group over here. We've still got Loring's Brigade. I'm actually bringing them over here to the woods, but maybe we'll take 1st Brigade and bring him over here. I think it's the right approach. Now, of course, we could end up facing some Federals over here on the road for all we know. We know for sure that they're making it down that road. No. No, damn it! Sometimes the order giving in this game can be a little frustrating. There we go. I hope that's good enough. Man, I hope that's good enough, because we need to get some support here for old Nathan Evans. Nathan Evans, of course, has been with us for a number of fights, and I don't want to lose him right now. I really don't. But you know what? Now that I see the enemy doing this, I think I actually have to also cancel the move orders of the cavalry. Let's stop them and try to bring them to that fight on the right. And look at that. I like to see this. We've got some enemy infantry from the woods falling back. Definitely larger than just a detachment. So this is good. And we've got 3rd Brigade just now arriving into position. Now I want Jones to engage the enemy. So we're actually going to move Jones up here. Hopefully he still gets that Wheatfield bonus right there at the edge. I think he will. But we are managing to hold off at least the force coming through the woods. I like that. We do have to worry about the force, and several people mentioned it, the force over here in the east, of course, still trying to cut us off. Now, look at that. He's going to have 2 different units to deal with. Start opening fire on 3rd Brigade, Evans. And he's fresh, 16-18, but he's about to take some flanking fire here from the enemy. There's very little we can do about it until we arrive with maybe some cavalry, something like that. Again, we called a halt, but it might take a while for the courier to actually get here. Open fire, boys! You know, we might not do so well on this side, and the fact is we need these men to perform, because if the enemy breaks through here, they could take the actual objective point. So we need to keep on firing, although I believe that Evans is about to take a hell of a loss, being flanked here by the enemy. We've got ourselves set up in the best position possible, given the circumstances, but, you know, that's not always great. Alright, I love this. And we're going to be using 3rd Brigade, hopefully, to completely roll up the enemy army at some point, assuming they don't have additional units on the way. And that's it. You know, that's the thing. We don't know how many men the Federals have that we still haven't engaged. We know they outnumber us by 26,000 men, but that's about it. And there we go. Another group falling back. It's 1st Brigade. 810 casualties. Unbelievable here. Although at the same time, look at 6th Brigade. Look at Jubilee Early's men. 811 losses. It's like I said in the last episode, there's no way we're getting out of this fight without a damaged army. There's just no way. Yep, we're going to start trying to roll them up, guys. We are going to move Jubal and Jones forward. And that's right, we're getting into the woods here. Hopefully we make it to the tree line before they start opening up on us. But I think that's going to be the goal, is get to that tree line quickly and roll up the rest of their forces. Alright, there we go. Let's bring them up, bringing the cavalry forward. We might just go for a good old-fashioned cavalry charge, and it looks like we got quite lucky here. Look at that. Managed to actually beat 3rd Brigade in the gunfight. It had to be because of some of the defensive bonus here of the Wheatfield. We still lost 114 men, but I believe we're coming out on top. Oh, I see why 1st Brigade went over here. So that's to get a perfect flanking shot, and you can see some of our men already going down because of it. There are a lot of men here in 1st Brigade. Let's take a look there. What was the number? Over 2,000. 2,185. So with flanking attacks like that, like I said, I think Evans' time on this battle is quite limited. Here we go, boys. Push forward. Oh, we already gave you an order, but fair enough. Go, Jubal. Alright, let's hope that this is the path to victory. I can also see some men over here wavering in 3rd Brigade. 3rd Brigade has run over here 3,000 men in that unit. 3,500. They've lost 800, so they had over 4,000. Maybe just a few too many men in that unit, and maybe that's what affected morale. But so far, guys, things are looking beautifully here, and I hope that we are on the road to victory. I believe that we very well may be. Maybe this battle's going to end a lot sooner than I expected. But I'm looking at this unit. It looks like he might try and reform. Wouldn't want that to happen, so maybe we should stop right here with our brigade and just at least give them one volley. No, get off the road, 6th. Get off the road, 6th. Gotta get 6th Brigade off the road there. Let's take a look on this at the situation at this side of the map. Wait a minute. Alright, our men are just now leaving the Lewis Ford area. What about that cavalry unit? He's on the way. Oh, maybe not. Loring. Loring, get in the damn field. If we have to, we'll get him off his horses and just turn them into a good old-fashioned infantry unit. In this case, that might be the best option, frankly. They've also got, I think, a slightly downhill approach, but the fact they're staying on the road, they're essentially acting as cannon fodder right now and allowing their other unit to just take pieces out of us, take chunks out of us. I'm going to accept it for now, because if we could break that unit, we'll turn our attention to him. But obviously, we've already had 328 men lost in Loring's brigade. That's some pretty serious losses. Here we go, boys. Everybody focus on this unit approaching. I'm amazed that our men still have ammunition, but it looks like, yeah, in all of the units, they each have about 30, 40 shots left per man. That's enough to keep on fighting. Of course, if they come with another army, I'm not so sure we'll have enough to keep on fighting, but just to give you an idea of kind of how that works. This unit, 57 shots per man, but as you can see, Longstreet is low on ammunition, so some of these units are starting to experience that low ammo. There we go, another Union force breaking. 3rd Brigade here, guys. 1,100 casualties. And again, I mentioned to a few guys in the chat, Maximilian Schonhausen, who we really appreciate, you know, just an awesome commenter, that for us to win the war, I think the odds have to be like 5 to 1. You know, we have to kill 5 Union for every 1 Confederate. And in fact, I think it might be even higher than that. I think it's more like 9 to 1. But somebody let us know in the comments. It would be interesting to find out what that is, but we know that that's going to be a big part of a potential victory here. Now look at that volunteer brigade just off our right side, or let's call it just the north here of the battle. Actually, it's more like the east-southeast, but we're looking at this upside down. Let's grab Ewell, and I think we have to bring Ewell in to engage here. Or, you know what? I'm just going to have all of our artillery focus on the volunteer brigade. Look at how quickly they flipped that around. That was a beautiful sight. Load it up, boys. Hellfire for the Union. Alright, let's keep on pushing in. David Jones, keep on going, my friend. We're even going to have Jubilee early start firing some shots there into 3rd Brigade. But they are very close to completely routing. In fact, yeah, no, they have completely routed now. Let's just try and increase the casualties. Again, if we can get to a certain number, then we can turn this into a major victory instead of just a minor victory. Oh, we haven't paid attention to these guys for a while. Let's make sure everything's okay. Yep. Unbelievable. So Nathan Evans managed to hold the enemy off, and I'm not going to advance towards them. I'm just simply going to go ahead and reform those men. We've got 1st Brigade here, though. Bonham's men. Let's put Bonham's men... There we go. Within the fence here. I barely noticed them. Talk about some pretty decent camouflage. And we've got Loring's brigade arriving as well. Yeah, we absolutely don't have to fear anything from the enemy here. They did get some pretty nice flanking shots on us, killing or wounding 413. But looks like now we're doing just fine. That's it, boys. Yeah, we'll take Ewell and go for the enemy, just to be certain. I think for the most part, their forces have fallen back. I don't see any more Federals coming up the road. This was the closest the Federals got, though, to beating us, and I have no doubt that, casualty-wise, like I said before, we will suffer for it. But the question is, can we rebuild this army? Can we make this an even larger army before they can restructure this army and bring them back to Manassas Junction or any other point of interest? Well, only time will tell, I suppose. Come on, boys. Fire. Now we can absolutely take control of the field. In fact, if we wanted to, go ahead and do a charge on the artillery and on the infantry. Just completely get them out of the way. But we've got time. We've got time to take our time. Let's put it that way. It's not even 10 a.m. as a matter of fact on day 2 of the battle here. Come on, Ewell. Take your men and engage the enemy. Ewell's been extremely lucky in this fight, actually. If you look there, 2,497. He's only lost 214 men. I would absolutely want to be part of Ewell's unit. Guys like Longstreet didn't get nearly as lucky, and in fact, he's probably the guy that saw the most contact throughout the entire fight, down to 17 shots per man and 797 casualties. Of course, that can be killed or wounded. We'll find that out at the end of the battle. We could also take a look now at the HQ, but I want it to be a surprise. I want to find out just what the casualties got to in this fight. Yeah, they are taking massive artillery shots. So much more respect for the arty and the cavalry, and especially you guys that gave me so much advice on the cavalry. I really appreciate it. I am just a huge fan of the cavalry units at this point. Oh, they are gone. Federals on that right side are gone. We could scout the area with Loring and just see if there are any other Federals kind of hiding out here. Of course, that's a little risky too. He could end up getting overwhelmed. But that's probably the correct approach. Does Bo win again? I hope so. It looks like Bo might win again. Well, speak of the devil, look at what I found coming from the south, guys. At the Lewis Ford area, the Union is doing an attack with several units actually getting behind us here, flanking us completely. Not something I expected at all. I'm immediately going to stop Loring's movement right there. I'm going to try to grab 1st Brigade and bring them back. Remember, we had them here initially. So we're just going to have to go ahead and bring them back to the fight. This changes everything. They're going for the Lewis Ford. They're trying to keep this battle going. Unbelievable, man. Hopefully we'll get there in time to stop them. But of course, 3 units on the way. Not going to be easy to deal with at all. And there's really no positions, you know, unlike other locations here, there's really no locations where we can hold out and actually have a decent defensive perimeter. It looks like it's going to be a pretty tough situation to master. Yeah, 1st Brigade's heading back. We could even take 7th Brigade and pull them back as well. Bring Evans back to the ford. I'm just going to keep them on this side. And again, Evans doesn't have many men left. 1,234, but with 413 casualties, I don't anticipate he'd be willing to fight for long. So even more of a reason to try and finish the fight over here quickly, man. Try and get a result for the battle right now so that we don't have to worry about it later. We don't have to worry about them taking that position. Just a nightmarish scenario. Come on, boys. There we go. Only a matter of time before that volunteer brigade breaks. But again, only 82 casualties, so they're falling back pretty effectively right now. Almost too effectively. Alright, got the cavalry. Bring Loring back. He's going to have to act as probably an infantry unit here. We'll get them off the horses. And even Loring has taken pretty serious casualties with 442. But look at that, man. Quite a few Union units getting ready for an attack. They are just all over the damn place. So we are falling back to Lewis Ford. In fact, I might just have Sibley's entire division move here. Yeah, let's do this. This is the correct approach. It is taking Sibley's men away from this location, but I think we've pretty much pushed the Federals away from here. And we can stand to get back down there and focus on the flank attack. Keep it up, boys. Alright, at least we're getting some gunshots at them. Sure, and actually engage them with the rifle. That's what I like to see. Some of these units look like they may be willing to come back, so I want to make sure that doesn't occur. Keep on going, boys. In fact, if we could go for a charge, I would, but I want to get a bit closer before we plan a charge. Just love hearing that cannonade going off as well. We know for sure that's going to be catching some casualties. The question is, how quickly can we make it to Lewis Ford? Looks like they finally received their orders. It's going to be all down to Sibley and his men to hold this area. Man, I should have known that the Union would pull something like this. Not to mention that coming down the road here, they're going to be moving pretty quickly, and these troops are fresh. Completely fresh. I do feel pretty good about Archer's Brigade, though, but looks like they're having some trouble. We had the same issue on another bridge in a previous battle. It's never fun to have issues like that in a game that's supposed to be fully released, but we'll leave it at that. And look at that, even additional enemy over here. But I really want to get to the Lewis Ford area and hold that, because if we try to just stop each and every Union attack, we're simply not going to have enough men to do it, and we're going to end up overextending ourselves. Let's not even worry about it. In fact, I'm even going to send David Jones over to the Lewis Ford area, but I'll have him hang back over here. Pretty sure the fight in this area, and let's get an exact name for this area, the fight over by the Grigsby Farm, really? The Grigsby Farm battle is pretty much over, I believe. I believe now the enemy is going to try one last push to take that victory point, and they may very well grab it. We might actually have to take it back. It all depends on whether or not Holmes, Theophilus Holmes, wants to be a hero in this here conflict. In fact, I might even be better off trying to get over here in the woods, but that leaves the Lewis Ford location kind of open. No, let's just halt and hold this position. Kind of tempted to just grab Bo's entire army and go ahead and fall back, because again, we don't actually have an objective point in this location. The only objective point we have is, of course, the location Holmes is on, so that might arguably be the right idea. The thing is, though, we've got guys like Bonham and a few other units, and, of course, a general himself coming over to help, so this might be sufficient. I really hope so. In fact, if I can stop his movement, I will, because now, as you can see, they're not just coming down this road, they're coming down this road, too, and man, are they massing for an attack. Yeah, we might have to bring more than just what we're bringing over right now, Sibley's division. I also don't believe Sibley has any artillery in his division. We're going to have to bring that separately, and I've already started working on that. In fact, look at that. We're sending Purcell back, and I'm also sending Scurry back just to assist. There's no point in keeping them here. In fact, part of me is tempted to send this whole force back, but I'll stick around a little bit longer to see if the Federals end up, you know, pushing another force this way. It would make sense for them to attack two different locations, but maybe they don't have that wherewithal. And there we go. Thank goodness we've got Fletcher's men moving. Wonderful to see that gun on the move and to get some artillery support for what is sure to be another major Union attack. Why did you guys... Oh, that's right, because you were about to go to this location. You know what? Now, we can put them in the woods location. We can also detach some skirmishers. Yeah, baby. All right, put the skirmishers in the woods location as well, guys. If the Federals think they're going to get behind us, well, they've got another thing coming. And perhaps, just perhaps, we can actually end the battle before that force even arrives. I think they're going to want some men still alive to rebuild this army anyway, and it doesn't look like they have many. What is this? Porter withdraws. Enemy 1st Brigade has marched from the battlefield. So there we go, going to get some much-needed medical assistance to those men. Get some surgeons in there, boys. But look at that. They seem to be expanding even wider, and it's almost like this force is somewhat larger than the force we just dealt with. God, I hope that's not the case. Skirmishers. Open fire. Nice open territory here. Perfect for skirmishers to start taking down the enemy. We'll do the same over here with Holmes's men. I think we want to get an even more opportune position here for the artillery. Same with Theophilus Holmes. Let's just make sure to keep the line units right there on a standard battle line. But of course, we will send the skirmishers forward. Oh, man! Took out a bunch of our skirmishers there, man. 20 men just instantly dropped by those Federals. I hope they didn't save their best for last, but 2nd Brigade just absolutely whooped our skirmishers there. Let's see who else we have arriving here to defend. Yeah, you know, in retrospect, we might need the entire army to hold this area. Just with the amount of men they have here, we might need to bring the whole damn force down. We still have some Federals over here, and we're still trying to fight off the Volunteer Brigade, but they just kind of keep falling back. So let's take yet another one of our Corps commanders here, Walker, and I'm going to have him push his boys up as well. The fact is, the fight has migrated over here, and we absolutely want to be prepared for any eventuality. But yeah, not surprising, the detachment, Holmes detachment, immediately fell back here. We see some couriers getting to the Union. Not good, man. Not good. I'm sure they're getting orders to attack. This might be where they break us. You know, even though we did really well in that initial stage of the battle, maybe this is where they manage to actually get a little bit of vengeance on the counterattack and finally get themselves a victory in this fight. I hope not, though. I really, really hope not. Yeah. Alright guys, let's pause right here. I want to take a look quickly at the casualty report to see just how things are going. And let's take a look. So, we actually have some men missing, which usually means taken prisoner. Total casualties, 3,675 for our men, and 10,500 for the Union. So if we could just keep this going, man, we are going to come out, you know, of this fight, even if we lose it, with a pretty nasty blow to the Union. Although then again, I would guess even 20 or 30,000 men for the Federals is nothing that they can't replace. It just isn't. It's just unlikely that, you know, they're going to do anything there to... Yeah, it's not an issue for them to replace that kind of manpower. Now, what I do ask you to do, you guys were awesome with the comments in the previous video, and again, I really appreciate it, and it makes me want to release these a lot sooner. So now, I want you to tell me, how would you be approaching this fight right here? This fight to the southwest, where the enemy has attacked newly formed, prepared to wipe us off the map, and instill federal doctrines in all lands. I am concerned, boys, but I like to think that we've come far enough that, hopefully, you know, victory is assured. But what do you guys think? And, of course, join us for the next part of the battle. Man, this is a long one.